My name is Bonnie Monteleone. I'm the Executive Director and co-founder of Plastic Ocean Project. My research started with the question, if plastic is accumulating in the North Pacific, is it accumulating in the North Atlantic? And that question led to the opportunity to work with Bermuda Institute of Ocean Sciences. My first North Atlantic Gyre research opportunity came in 2009 when I was fortunate enough to join the Oceanic Flux Program, also known as OFP, where they study the particles or sediment that sink to the ocean floor, as well as the chemistry of the ocean.
So my name is JC Weber, and I've been part of the Oceanic Flux Program since 1996. So the program is the longest running oceanographic time series of its kind.
So I'm Ruth Pedrosa Pamias. I'm the chief scientist in this research expedition with the Oceanic Flux Program. So during the OFP research cruises, our main operations are mainly to recover the OFP mooring line, doing the turnaround, and then redeploying. Mark. 931-445. Thank
you. We have sediment traps at those three depths at 500, 1500, and 3200 meters on a single mooring. They're constantly collecting the rain of sinking particles that is coming in, and every 2 weeks it switches to a new sample cup under the trap, which the trap is essentially just a big funnel. And so you have this high resolution sampling of what's going on in the water column and what particles are sinking down to the deep ocean.
And through this collaborative effort for the past nearly 10 years, we've been able to get students out on the open ocean in the North Atlantic Gyre so they can witness for themselves how plastic is accumulating in these gyre circulation systems, what species are being impacted so they actually can see the organisms that are pulled in with our surface sampler, which is 1 meter across by 1/2 meter deep. And that device allows us to be able to collect anything that's on the surface of that half a meter. And it's shocking how much life lives there. You know, when you look out over the ocean, you think, oh, there's no life out here. But it's really the small juvenile organisms, the ones most vulnerable to this plastic problem, that are directly impacted. Other ways that we use science and technology is, of course, we can't just assume when we pull stuff out of the ocean that it's plastic. We need instrumentation in order to do so. So we use infrared light using an IN10 microscopy in order to determine if a particle is plastic or not. And through this science, we're able to get young people involved in working with some serious instrumentation that they can then add to their resumes in order to continue this research or down their own personal path. This past spring, Plastic Ocean Project raised the funds to take 2 UNCW undergraduates, 1 high school student from the Bronx, myself, and 2 staff to Bermuda so that they could contribute to sampling in the North Atlantic Gyre as part of our time series of microplastics in the North Atlantic, which have been collected over the past 10 years. What we didn't expect to find was 14-foot seas that limited our ability to collect samples while limiting our our crew due to seasickness. Though our surface sampler was sometimes out of the water as much as it was in it, skipping like a stone, all of our samples contained microplastics. So this work that I started in 2009 allowed me to not only go to these gyres, these circulation systems, but also islands inside the circulation systems, so such as Hawaii and Bermuda. And it was there that you really can grasp the understanding that this plastic doesn't go away. It ends up somewhere else. And unfortunately, the plastic that is coming from rivers and streams and our beaches into our oceans migrate through the ocean and onto these islands that these islands didn't even generate. Thousands and thousands of tons of plastic are washing up on these beaches annually. And they don't have any place to put it. They don't have the landfill space necessary to put it in a landfill. In some poor countries, they actually take it 200 miles offshore and dump it back in the ocean, which then just washes back in, temporary fix. But it was in Bermuda, that was the first island inside a gyre circulation system that I got to witness with my own eyes. The microplastics that are washing up, that are being broken up while it's out at sea, being washed up on a beach, and intermingling with the beautiful pink sand of Bermuda. There we find pre-production pellets as well as other man-made materials. And it's unfortunate because there's no place for this plastic to go. There's no system in place to deal with microplastics. And so one of the advantages that Bermuda has is there are beaches, I call it the beach Zamboni. It's a device that skims over the surface of the sand to collect sargassum as well as microplastics and other debris left behind. And so those beaches look clean, cleaner than some beaches that aren't treated with that process at all. So we like to go to those beaches that have no treatment so we can get a real estimate of how much plastic there is on the beaches. So the nonprofit that I run, Plastic Ocean Project, has three pillars. One is research, the other is outreach, and the third pillar is collaboration. So we believe that the outreach through art is equally as important as the science, because it's actually those that are doing the art that convey the science to the general public so that they can gain a better understanding of what plastic is doing to the environment and to ourselves. And through that source of art, whether it be visual arts, videography, storytelling, through journalism, we're able to then galvanize the solutions necessary to handle the issues that plastic is causing on the environment. And that's where this research that we're doing with Plastic Ocean Project, UNCW, Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute, and Bermuda is a combined effort to really educate people on just how serious this problem is and that we really need positive solutions, and we can do that by just really mitigating how much plastic we're using. If we don't use it, we can't lose it and have it end up in places it doesn't belong.